What up, New York Giant Nation? It's your boy, Mac, the Giants fan, coming back at y'all with an edition of Behind the Wheel. And, we are finally almost here. 7 days away to the NFL draft. It's starting to get very real now. We are about to add on some new young talent to this football team. We got some very high picks in the top end of this draft, man. Just want to talk about a few of them, man. Who I hope to see the New York Giants select, man, in these positions, man. We sitting on the number 5 pick, number 7 pick, picking early in the second round as well. I believe like number 36 or something like that. So I would be ecstatic with a few combination of players in those picks, man. I'm gonna really just talk specifically more about those selections right now on this little clip here, man. But at number 5, man, I'm looking at like some combination of like Evan Neal, you know what I mean? Maybe Evan Neal, one of those top tackles that's available, whether it's Aquanu, Evan Neal, Charles Cross. I'm down with any of those guys, man. And looking at the number 5 pick, between number 5 and number 7, any combination of any of those tackles, and like a Thibodeau or a Sauce Gardner, maybe, you know, get one of those top end defensive players at the top end of the draft, preferably a pass rusher. Like if we can get Thibodeau and Evan Neal, I'll be ecstatic right there. We can come out for the number 5, 7 pick and leave out of there with Evan Neal and Thibodeau. True, Mac the Giants fan is going to be a happy camper come next Thursday night if we can land those. But if we can even Charles Cross and Thibodeau, Aquanu and Thibodeau, Aquanu and Gardner and Sauce Gardner, Cross and Sauce Gardner, I'm good with that too as well. Sauce Gardner, I know people feel like we don't have as strong a need at cornerback, but in this Wink Martindale defense, cornerback is also very important and great cornerback depth. So, you know, adding a player like Sauce Gardner, a caliber of Sauce Gardner, I'll be on board with that as well, man. Totally on board. I'll be ecstatic if we can do that. But then let's talk about that second round pick, man, because a name that I loved early on in this draft process, Mr. Tyler Linderbaum, center out of Iowa, is seeming to be falling down draft boards right now, man. And now talking about maybe even falling into the second round. And if that happens, man, I think the New York Giants need to figure out a way to make this man their second round draft pick. Even if it means moving up a couple of spots in the second round to grab him, if that's what it's going to take. Because Tyler Linderbaum, I think, will fit right into this offensive line, and he'll be a leader from the door. He'll just come in and be a natural-born leader on this O-line, which you need your center to be. This is the kind of things we got to put into perspective, man. This guy who many thought was going to go kind of in the mid-first round early in the draft process. Then we started seeing him falling down to the late first round, and now he's even falling to it looking like maybe the second round. And it's basically mostly because people believe in centers you shouldn't invest high draft picks on the center position. I find that to be false. You invest your draft picks on players you believe in, and it don't matter what position they play. That's a stupid narrative if I ever heard one. Oh, you don't want to spend a high draft pick like that on a safety. You can get a safety in the late rounds. You can get anybody in the late rounds, and they might pan out. But if you believe in the player, you take them. And I'm telling you, if Linderbaum can fall to us in the second round, man, we need to take that man. That's just how I feel about it. But as far as later on in the draft, you know, we can obviously continue to add more depth at the running back position, tight end position specifically. We definitely need some tight ends on this roster, so we can think about adding some more depth deeper in the later rounds. Don't forget, offensive line it's still a project. It's still not complete. Just because even if we do add, one of those top tackles early in the draft, in the early rounds, maybe, and get somebody like an interior offensive lineman maybe in a second round or something like that. Look, the job's still not done. We still need to need plenty of depth and plenty of good players in there competing for positions, man. Make this competition right. Get this thing, going. Let's make competitive out there in training camp this year. Make guys earn their spots. Plenty of depth needs to be added to this football team. So in the late rounds, really focus on dressing, like I said, mainly to me is that tight end position. I'm not 100% sure about all the top prospects out there, but at tight end, but we need to try to jump on a couple of them later on in the draft. I would even be on board with drafting maybe a couple of tight ends, honestly, in the late rounds. That's how desperate we need a couple of tight ends on this roster. And like I said, running back depth is always something to look to address. Some more wide receiver depth. Look, the sky's the limit, man. I'm loving what this regime is doing so far. This offseason has been pretty good for me. I'm comfortable. I'm liking the direction the team is going in. And I want to see this team go out and be able to compete. I'm not expecting us to go out there and win Super Bowl next year or anything crazy. I'm not going into the season with false hope. But I want to see this team look competitive again. And I think this regime got us going in the right direction. And I can finally say that with a little bit of confidence. So we'll see if they can prove me to be true. Week away from the draft, everybody, man. I'm excited. I can't wait. I'll probably come on with another one of these sometime within the next week, man. Behind the wheel, it's your boy Mac the Giants fan, man. Check us out on me and Adam Costas, Zion Zenov, and New York NYG Jeffy D on Premium Takes on Sunday too. Don't forget to check us out. It's your boy Mac the Giants fan, man. Pass.